There are questions tonight about just who is benefiting from a program that provides housing for the poor and disabled. Good evening and welcome to Channel 4 News at 6.
Housing is a big need in the city, especially affordable housing. Our Channel 4 I-Team investigation found people related to the head of this organization living in these homes. The I-Team's Alana Otler has been investigating this nonprofit, which is fueled by your tax dollars.
Without a doubt, the nonprofit Community Action Network plays a vital role, especially in the area it serves where the need is insatiable. That's why some are wondering if certain people may be getting preferential treatment based on who they know and who's in the family.
Okay, baby girl.
It's the first place Dale McMillan has ever really called home. With the help of the nonprofit Community Action Network, he went from living in his truck to living here.
I'm very grateful and very thankful for the help they're giving me, and I'm very appreciative, and God bless them.
But a Channel 4 I-Team investigation found McMillan isn't the only one getting housing from the Community Action Network, also known as CAN. The stepson of Roseanne Downing, the chairperson of the board, as well as Downing's daughter, as well as Downing's former daughter-in-law. They all live in homes purchased by CAN, and no one is eager to talk about it. You have no comment whatsoever.
I have no comment.
And they live here with the help of your tax dollars. According to the group's most recent tax filing in 2014, CAN received more than $1 million in government grants. They also received $80,000 in other contributions. But all that money helps purchase homes for people like McMillan, low income and oftentimes disabled, and also relatives of Roseanne Downing, the woman who helped form the nonprofit in 2005. Since then, property records show CAN has acquired at least 29 properties across 3 different counties. One of them is in Benton County, where Downing's stepson Russell lives with his wife Shelby, who was a former housing counselor of CAN. Do you think that there's any sort of impropriety there, the fact that you are related to Roseanne and she's on the board?
Shelby was already living in that house when we got married, so that had nothing to do with any kind of conflict.
We met Russell Downing outside his business in Springville. Remember, you have to be low income to live in a CAN home. But state records show Russell Downing owns this property, along with 3 others in Henry County and another in Benton County. We asked him how is it he qualified for low-income housing.
I don't know what their qualifications are. That was already something in the works whenever I came into the picture. I have no idea what the qualifications are.
Russell says he does have money troubles and his son is disabled. But he kept going back to the fact that he lives in the house because of his wife, Shelby, who again once worked for CAN helping people get houses.
That was something that was prearranged before me and her ever got together, before we ever got married.
So you're probably wondering, doesn't the homebuyer application ask if you're a relative of an employee? Well, CAN says Roseanne Downing isn't an employee. She's just the chairperson of their board. But along with Shelby Downing, her daughter-in-law, Downing's own daughter, Cressida Melton, worked at CAN as well. This newspaper article from 2012 described Melton as housing director. And while the women go by different last names, they are related. A marriage license from 1999 lists Roseanne as Cressida's mother. And according to a source within Benton County government, Melton's last listed address is 320 Peachtree Street, a property owned by the Community Action Network. We never could track down Melton for comment, but we did find Roseanne Downing's former daughter-in-law, Marianne Downing.
Excuse me, Miss Downing? Yes.
She also lives in a home owned by CAN. Our cameras caught her leaving the house on the way to work. The local water department says CAN even pays the water bill. If Marianne Downing qualified to live here, she certainly didn't elaborate.
Hi, my name is Alana Altler. I'm a reporter with Channel 4. How you doing today?
Is there a reason why you live in a house that's owned by Community Action Network, which is a nonprofit?
I have no comment.
So how do those who qualify for these homes feel about these family connections? After all, several clients say they stayed on the waiting list for anywhere between a month to a year. It's unclear how quickly all these family members and former employees got into a house.
I think it would be kind of unfair since there's so many people in the area that have such a need.
For weeks, we've tried finding Roseanne Downing. We visited the CAN office.
I'm trying to get in contact with Roseanne.
We visited the place where she works.
Yeah, I'm looking for Roseanne Downing.
We left a note at her home. We even sent 4 emails.
This is Roseanne. I'm unavailable right now.
And when that didn't work,
Hi, Roseanne. This is Alana Altler with Channel 4.
Hi, Roseanne. This is Alana.
Hi, Roseanne.
we called her 5 times. Instead, a spokesperson sent us this email stating that based on our questions, the board held a special called meeting. They determined the issues we raised did not violate the nonprofit's conflict of interest policy. And guess who decides whether a conflict exists? The board, of which Roseanne Downing is the chairperson. When we asked if she recused herself from that discussion, we never got an answer. Citing privacy concerns, a spokesperson could not say if Downing's relatives submitted applications or qualified for the programs. According to Louis Levine, the director of the Center for Nonprofit Management, leaders should always be transparent, especially when conflicts arise.
The board members should be able to speak to the public, and every aspect of the nonprofit's activities should be available for understanding by the community.
Ma'am, if you don't put that TV camera away.
It's a public meeting, but board members didn't like it when the I-Team showed up asking questions about how taxpayer dollars are being used. Board members of a nonprofit at the center of a Channel 4 I-Team investigation were not pleased today to find our camera at their public meeting.
The I-Team exposed the fact that family members of their former chairperson were living in housing with the help of your tax dollars. So we went to get answers. After our investigation aired, the Community Action Network chairperson resigned. Funding from the state was pulled for the next year, but the board never explained what happened. And when the I-Team's Alana Altler showed up seeking an explanation, members of the board made it clear our camera wasn't welcome.
Tracy, board members said it themselves. Today's meeting was, in fact, public. But when I asked why we couldn't record that meeting, they said they didn't want to be put on display. From the minute we stepped into headquarters, board members made themselves clear about our camera coming in.
No cameras, I'm sorry.
And after the meeting, they made it clear again.
Ma'am, if you don't put that TV camera away.
Today, the Community Action Network, or CAN, held a public meeting, the first since the Channel 4 I-Team uncovered conflicts of interest within this housing nonprofit that received more than $1 million in taxpayer money. CAN serves 6 rural counties, providing affordable housing to people who are often low income or disabled. But the I-Team discovered 4 of the former chairperson's relatives had also lived in these homes, a discovery state housing officials took seriously.
It may have been fine with their rules, but it's not fine with our rules.
The Tennessee Housing Development Agency then pulled its funding until next March. And Roseanne Downing, the chairperson, resigned 1 day after our report.
This is Roseanne. I'm unavailable right now.
We never heard from her or the other board members, so we told them we'd be attending their meeting today. But no one told us cameras were banned until we arrived.
I'm just trying to understand why there's a rule against cameras. If this is, this is a nonprofit, this is a public meeting, I just don't understand why.
This is a public meeting for us to run Community Action Network. This is not a public meeting for you to put us on a display out there, which you so like to do. The camera goes, ma'am. That's it.
Our photojournalist left, I stayed inside. The meeting lasted less than 10 minutes and the board discussed little to no new business. They did provide copies of their new policies, including one about conflicts of interest. The new rules outline what they had never addressed before, the definition of a relative. It now instructs the nonprofit to refer relatives to other resource facilities for help. But after the meeting, members refused to answer why they changed those policies.
Is there something that you can tell us just about what happened here and how long you knew what was going on?
Ma'am, if you don't put that TV camera away.
Please don't touch the camera, ma'am.
Okay, y'all leave now.
Are you gonna? After the new chairperson told us to get off the property, we left. What she did tell us is that when reviewing applicants, they now look deep into their gene pools. Tom.
Alana Adler, Alana, thanks.